All right, you guys. So welcome to the channel. If you're new, my name is Lina, and I'm here to deliver you guys divinely guided messages that will most support you as you move forward on your journeys, manifesting all of your goals and dreams with ease and grace. So, my beautiful divine fam, and anyone who is new that's tuning in, welcome, welcome, welcome. And like I said before, happy new moon and happy eclipse. Okay, this is such a powerful time. We have gone through this energetic portal and we're still in this energetic portal. Okay, I'm recording this on the 1st of May. And whenever you are watching this reading is going to apply to you. Okay, so this is all about setting intentions, and I'm going to be creating, higher timelines, and I'm going to be co-creating with you guys. So whatever you want to affirm or co-create or claim and manifest, all you have to do is hit the like button, and also you can leave a comment whenever you hear something that resonates with you. But also be sure to always go within and commune with source as a co-creator, so that you can also consciously manifest any of what you like that is coming, anything that you're hearing that you like. Okay, so a lot of the messages I will give will be for the collective. Some of them might be more individual. Okay, I will I'm going to channel and I'm just going to flow. And this reading is all positivity. I'm going to tap into the highest timeline of the collective. I'm going to do my best to channel this energy in. So we're not going to look at blocks. We're not going to look at challenges. We're not going to look at delays. We're not going to get any advice, because there is no need for any advice, okay, for this reading. This is different than the monthly readings. This is a bonus reading. So I'm so excited to do this for you guys. I felt intuitively called to do it. And I am setting the intention. This is a ritual, you guys. Okay, it's a ritual. And that's why it's so important that you guys participate in the video by liking it, by leaving a comment down below, because it's your way of affirming. Okay, you guys, this isn't just me running my mouth. This is me creating and doing some magic here for my beautiful divine brothers and sisters. And of course, all of this is always supported and backed by divine white light and unconditional love. And let's be mindful that we are all co-creators. Okay, so in this reading, in this video, I'm not calling upon, we can honor certain, whatever, you can do whatever you want. Okay, you can, if you have certain beings or anything you look up to or whatever, you can call upon whatever you would like for your own energy. But as far as my energy, I'm tapping into my source energy, and I'm going to be a direct channel from the higher realms into this beautiful energy field here of 5D embodiment in the physical form. So let's go ahead, divine oneness that is here tuning in, and get into this while it's still May 1st. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I call upon air, fire, water, earth. Thank you, elementals. Thank you to divine for being here with me in this now moment as I deliver these messages and set these intentions. Okay, may every message that come to me and flow through me be aligned with divine white light and unconditional love, and for the greatest good of the collective, Mother Gaia, and everyone's ascension timeline and journey. May all the Starseeds, Lightworkers, chosen ones, and anyone else that is tuning into this reading that is very much a conscious co-creator or yet to be, receive the abundance that is being portrayed through this reading. Okay, because there will be powerful messages here that want to come out. So thank you again. Thank you, source. Thank you, universe. Thank you to all my spirit guides and angels that are always supporting me and are of divine white light and unconditional love. And without further ado, let's get into the reading. And also, I want to just note that we are honoring the elements. So we have air here. Okay, let's honor that first. Welcome again, my beautiful divine fam, star family, soul tribe, yet to be soul tribe. Okay, anyone who feels some sort of connection to this video or channel, thank you for being here. Welcome. Okay, so I call upon air. Thank you to the east for setting these intentions with me on this new moon. By the way, I hope you've all done your own intention setting individually, but let's go ahead and do this for the collective. And again, your way to claim any of it is by giving a thumbs up. And let's go ahead and get into this. Welcome to anyone that is joining or in the chat. And like I said, whenever you're watching this, you guys, this is going to be timeless. So as long as you're watching it before the 1st of October, you can still claim the messages and tap into this portal, okay, that we're going to be going through for the next 6 months. Okay, also you guys, because of the North Node and the South Node being in Taurus and Scorpio, there's a big emphasis here on the material realm versus the spiritual realm. There's a big battle, okay, that's being played out right now on the main stage and in, you know, the higher realms, the astral and, you know, various dimensions. But let's go ahead and just do the reading, guys. So thank you again, Air, for all the love and light that you bring forth into this now moment. Thank you to the South Fire for being here as I set these intentions. Okay. Thank you to the light within me, the Most High, divine white light and unconditional love. Thanks for being here, present in this every now moment. Okay, and so let's go ahead and do, okay, and so we are honoring the water element as well with these beautiful seashells. I do have some water in the room, in the building. Okay, and then earth, of course. So I now cast the shield of divine white light and unconditional love around myself. Amen, and so it is. So thank you again to the divine. And let's go ahead and get into this. Again, I want to just channel you guys, and then I'm going to get back on here and do the weekly guidance message, but I felt really called to do this. So let's go ahead and do it, okay? Thanks for being here again, for anyone, whenever you're tuning in. So what messages want to be channeled? Okay. Wow. Okay. The river. Interesting. The river came out. Beautiful. The village. The empty room and the castle. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Okay. So what I'm getting is that at this time, you guys, the collective is preparing to shift into the next phase of the ascension journey. Okay, so I know that word gets thrown around a lot, but let's talk about it. Basically, okay, whoever's watching this, by the way, I feel like, okay, I'm gonna throw things out there, you guys, so just, you know, bear with me and stuff until I get fully immersed into the readings. So what I can see here off the bat is that a lot of you are royalty or royal bloodlines. Okay, now what does that even mean, right? That just means that you could have had past lives where you have been royalty, or your ancestors were royalty, or you may have, you know, been seen as a queen or a king at some point in your life. But also a lot of you are building a castle, okay? Castles in the sky is what came to mind. And so what I'm getting is that, like, sometimes you guys, a lot of you might be feeling as though the manifestations that you create in your dreams and your goals are just dreams and things that you're drawing up in the sky, right? But that's not the case. You know, the divine wants you to know that you are creating your own castle. You are creating your own empire or your own, you know, village here as well. Village. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to have your own eco villages. A lot of you guys are going to be like in communal living, things like that. Okay, so beautiful energy here, and this is what wants to come in, you guys. And it doesn't mean that it's going to happen tomorrow or in a month's time, but to me, what I'm getting is that this is part of your destiny. Okay, I want to say this as well, you guys. I feel like in the whole community of communal living and eco villages, or, you know, all these beautiful things that I'm very much, you know, that I'm very passionate about myself. You guys, it doesn't mean that we have to all live in earth ships or cob homes or like earth bag homes and live in this like way of being that is almost a little bit primitive in a way. And there's nothing wrong with that, you guys, because I'm all for that. You know, I've built earth ships and cob homes, and I think it's beautiful to be able to immerse with earth and create, you know, beauty. But villages and communal living can also happen in a modern way, and it can happen in a very advanced way, especially with a lot of the technology that wants to come in. So, you know, that's been suppressed from us. Okay, and I don't, yeah. So there's this energy here where it's like you are creating, right, at all times. Okay, guys, and your manifestations are being heard at all times. Your thoughts, your dreams, your goals, your beliefs, especially at this time, okay? Especially during the new moon, right? So, this card here, the empty room, it's reminding you that, you are your own creator. You are source energy, right? Source consciousness. And so there is this energy where even though on the outside it may seem as though there's a lot going on and there's people and we're all part of like this one, collective reality, at the same time, this card wants to remind you that you are like in an empty room and your universe is your own universe. Your reality is your own reality. And it doesn't have to be shaped by anyone else's. It doesn't have to be dictated by, the collective, but not even the collective, because when I say the collective, I'm really referring to the collective that's here to carry out the divine plan, the collective that's here to wake up and, ascend with Gaia. Okay, so this is more so referring to like the illusion. This is referring to the world outside of us. And by now, most of you will have gone through those, parts of your journeys, and a lot of you will have experienced this, detachment from the 3D world, from societal expectations, from the norm, and anything like that. A lot of you have been waking up, and this card wants to remind you, though, that you really are the artist and the creator of your own reality and your own world. And yes, there are a group of us that are co-creating together, whether we're aware of it or not. So at this time, though, you're being reminded that there's a lot of power in your intentions. There's a lot of power in your belief system. So also be careful, like where you're allowing your energy to go, or be what direction is your energy being taken into, because with the river here, the river can lead you into different directions. Okay, this river though is going to keep going. Life is going to keep going. The show must go on is what I'm hearing. And so on a collective scale, I'm hearing that things can happen, right? But the world keeps spinning, and how, it's kind of like wanting us to look at how are we whole and complete, throughout it all. Like, how are we aligning ourselves with our highest truth? So this energy here is telling me that at this time, it's very important that we continue focusing on our spiritual practices, that we continue raising our vibration, elevating our consciousness, and remembering that we are, a village, that we are all in this together, even if we don't know one another, even if you're not in connection in the physical form with people and it's through the internet, right? Know that we're all in this together, even though we're also in our individual timelines outside of the collective timeline, and that what we're all moving towards is this beautiful abundance, this oneness that wants to come in. I'm hearing Age of Aquarius, the golden age, okay, is here, of abundance. That's what's coming in. Okay, this is also a major shift that wants to come in at this time. For you, whenever you're watching this, I'm hearing there's an activation that's taking place through this reading for many people. Okay, with the number 33 here, a lot of you are ascending and you are awakening more and more to your truth. Okay, and I say that specifically your truth because everyone's truth is going to be a little bit different, right? So let's keep going though. Yeah, a lot of you may have felt like you've been alone, okay, on this journey, but you're not. Like I was saying, you are part of this beautiful village. You are part of, a group of beings that are here together, calling in this abundance for all. And I just want to say this: if you feel like you have been unheard, unacknowledged, unseen, unrecognized, whatever the case may be, I'm hearing that your day is coming. Your day will come. People are going to start. Like, not that it matters what people say and think, but a lot of you will feel almost, well, it's not even that you're going to feel, but people are going to be coming at you for guidance, for wisdom. They're going to see that you are the leader, that you are the one who, is wise and is awakened. And a lot of younger souls and other people around you are going to like, I'm hearing apologize to you for, especially as things start coming out more into the light, which they are little by little, but there's going to be a turning point where it just all kind of comes out, which is what a lot of people have been waiting for. Yeah. We are moving away from, okay, I'm hearing we're moving away from the matrix. We're breaking out of it. It's falling apart, right? What lies beyond it is abundance, unity, right? Oneness, but also uniting more as like a group, a conscious group on the planet that is very aware of, what we're doing, what we're participating in, and things like that, right? Because there is this beautiful like crown here on the card. There's a beautiful circle symbolism that's showing me, unity, consciousness, and oneness. There's a mountain, there's peaks and valleys on this card. Everything's burned down, right? Everything has burnt down to rubble. But through that comes rebirth, and it comes the new world. It comes new earth. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's almost like, even though that stuff is happening, right, there's almost like a wormhole type of energy here in this card. Even though that stuff has happened around the world and all this stuff has taken place, there is a portal, right? It's an energetic portal that lies within each person on, in terms of their level of aware of, spiritual awakening or consciousness, where you can shift out of that. And so that's what a lot of people are doing, is that they're shifting away from all the chaos. A lot of people are moving away from the fear. People are saying enough is enough. We no longer want to be in this illusion. Okay, Pisces energy. We no longer want to live in fear. Okay, so that's what's happening for the collective at this time. And this eclipse energy in the next 6 months, it's going to be revealing a lot of the shadows. A lot of things are going to fall apart, or they're going to appear like they're falling apart. And for a lot of people, that's what these are things that their realities have been based on. But the thing is that they're not real. They're illusions. They were systems and structures that were created to keep everyone suppressed, right? And so eventually what's going to happen, also this card here with the empty room, is wanting us all to like strip away the layers, peel back the layers, and ask ourselves, okay, who are we really, and where do we come from, or what am I, and things like that. So I'm almost hearing like many people are going to be going through the dark night of the soul. And for a lot of you who are watching this, you probably already have gone through that, okay? And that's why you're here, because you are awakened to a certain extent. Now, whether or not you're on your ascension timeline and you're consciously working on that is a different story. But either way, this is what's happening, okay, at this time as we enter. It's like everything's going to peel away. And then what's going to be left is like a blank canvas where now we can create the world that we want. Okay, that's aligned with the greatest good of all, with abundance. And there's something here about, let's see, what's this energy here? Okay, I'm getting something about like a lot of you may have been feeling like you've been living in a castle. I'm hearing like Rapunzel. I'm hearing a lot of you feel like you're trapped. Okay, a lot of you have felt like your own little world and your inner sanctuary is the only place that you feel like safe. Okay, safe and and protected, because the world outside of you has felt so chaotic. So for a lot of people, it's like we've created these castles, which are our homes or wherever we reside. And it's like our sanctuaries, which is beautiful. But the thing is that I'm hearing that the world is meant to be a sanctuary. The world is meant to be a safe haven. And, the darkness that's plagued it for so long has tried to take it over and all of that. And, sometimes this does have to happen, you guys. Things have to crumble down. They have to burn down to the ground so they can be rebuilt. And so don't be afraid if things appear that way on, the main stage, because first of all, that most of the time, a lot of that is fabricated. A lot of it is premeditated. It's, stuff that's been planned for a while. And a lot of it is, these are psychological operations that are done on the human collectives, okay, on the beings that, especially those of us who are here to awaken, okay? Because some people aren't meant to awaken, and that's okay as well, right? They're part of how they're like the contrast in life that's going to mirror back to us what we realize we don't align with or don't want to be anymore, right? Especially if we're born into a world and then we take on beliefs or whatever, whether it's and beliefs, I'm not referring to religion, I'm referring to anything, right? Like relationship dynamics, your worth as a man, your worth as a woman, like who are you supposed to be and how you're supposed to operate, right? And so that's what I'm seeing here. And so the thing is, like, I'm having trouble reading this specific card here, so I'm going to get back to it in just a moment. But okay, I see. Yeah. Oh my God. This is the message that I channeled earlier when I was driving. So, guys, okay, we have Saturn and Mercury. And what I wanted to say, and with the empty room, is that a lot of people are going through the dark night of the soul as we go through the Mercury retrograde right now in May. I don't know if you guys have felt the pre-shadow, like if you're watching this before it, kicks in full force. But the message I was getting that I was like channeling earlier today was that you know how like the devil in tarot is seen as Saturn, or like Saturn and the devil are seen as like this, they're like one and the same in a way. Mercury, to me, I feel like Mercury talks a lot about the duality, right? Within us and within the third dimension. It's masculine and feminine. Mercury is both. Mercury is not a man, Mercury is not a woman. It's something. I don't know exactly. I don't remember if it was like Mercury was like born both, or like, was a hermaphrodite or something. I don't think Mercury was a hermaphrodite. I just think Mercury, I don't know what Mercury was, but let's just say that Mercury has both. And I've seen like the devil, especially in tarot, sometimes it's depicted as having like breast and a penis. And by the way, you guys, like this is not to say that anyone who's like that in the physical world is the devil or is bad. Okay, that's not what I'm saying at all. I just want to make that very clear. Okay, right now I'm just referring to like archetypes and kind of looking at the subliminal messages, okay, that I was picking up on, kind of like as I was like reading between certain lines, I guess, and noticing certain patterns that keep occurring. So like with retrograde, I find that a lot of times when things come back around, they can be temptation, So I feel like Mercury and the devil work together. I'm sorry, Mercury and Saturn, and they both came out here. And so what's happening is that we're being given a chance during this retrograde to go back and reevaluate who we truly are. And a lot of things that we thought were shadows and a lot of things that we thought were darkness, whether it's things within ourselves, feelings, thoughts, beliefs, relationships, they're going to come back. And for whatever reason, okay, you guys, we're going to see that maybe the shadow wasn't the relationship. The shadow wasn't the person or the dynamic. The shadow was something within us that we were carrying and believing. Okay, and I take that how it resonates to you, you guys. I'll elaborate more on it in just a moment. Okay, but let's move away from that darker stuff. And I'll get back to it because there's something powerful that wants to come through me, and I can't quite pick up on it. But I do want to say this. Mercury, I noticed that when it goes into retrograde, it's like Mercury is in its shadow, right? It's in its darker energy. So it's like it's going backwards and it's in its, let's say, not in its light. And then when it's going direct, it's in its light. And I feel like this can be felt on a collective scale, right? People always talk about things not going, the way you would like during Mercury retrograde, and making sure that you're not signing on the dotted line and all of these type of things. But I feel like it's because there's a bigger energy here at play. And so I don't know if it's that Mercury works for, the darker energy it's like, but Mercury is this very duplicitous energy, especially if you have it in your third house or you have a like heavy Gemini placements, you're going to feel it even more. And so if any of you kind of know what I'm talking about, I would love for you to leave a comment in the comment section and let me know like what your experience has been with Mercury. But I find that Mercury can represent the devil in many ways, okay? Especially, but not all the time. That's what I'm trying to like get at, is that Mercury is a really good representation of the human being in the third dimension, right? It's not female, it's not male. And even though we're male or female, we all have both energies. And when we ascend and transcend this physical form, um, you know, part of the integration as to when we become, you know, conscious co-creators or become, you know, source energy again, have our connection with source is blending both hemispheres, right? The masculine and the feminine in the brain. It's integrating them both. And so Mercury represents to me, what I've noticed is the imbalance. But in its highest form, okay, let's say in its ascended form, it represents that union, right? That triangle. So you have the masculine, the feminine coming together and becoming this divine union, okay, which can be seen in the twin flame dynamics, but really it lies within every individual becoming whole and complete, which is what this card is about. This card number 33 is two people, twin flames coming together and becoming one. And I'm hearing in the sixth dimension, it's even beyond the fifth dimension, you guys. So this is what's taking place. Like a lot of twin flames will be coming back together, especially if you've been in separation. And a lot of people at this time in the next 6 months through, you know, as we go through this eclipse portal until like the 1st of October or so, we'll be coming together. And so this is amazing. I love this. I feel like we're being given a chance to create the world that we truly want to see. And you guys, it's not even like dependent on what goes out in the what goes on in the exterior. It's not dependent on the news. It's not dependent on the TV. It's dependent on your own thoughts, your own desires, and your own beliefs. So if you guys haven't been, you know, practicing some sort of spiritual, you know, having some sort of spiritual practice or setting intentions and envisioning your dream life, this is the time to do it, okay, in the next 6 months. It's a great time to get realigned with who you truly are and who you want to be, and to bring, especially during the retrograde, to bring the unconscious parts of self back out into the light, okay? Because I'm hearing do-over, I'm hearing a do-over, a reset, I'm hearing something about waking the fuck up. I'm sorry, waking up. And it's like I'm literally hearing that a lot of people, the veil is going to be removed, like big time. And it's not even like, you know, in a scary way. It's just things are going to be happening, right? And so what we're all moving towards is the sun. Okay, beautiful energy, lots of happiness. The truth is going to be revealed. The light is going to shine. And it's not like the false light, right? It's not the illusion. It's the light within yourself. It's not you looking outside of yourself, whether it's to religion or, you know, a person up in the sky or a guru. You know, this is like you. This is you going within. Do you guys hear the train? Oh my God, that's one of my my guidance. That's how they my guides communicate with me. So it's about you finding the divinity within yourself, and that's what we're all going through. Okay, anyone who's like a starseed, a light worker, chosen. Okay, there's something here though, you guys, about needing to revisit something, to pick up some shadows and like integrate it into your highest path or your highest math. So take that as you will. I feel like it has to do with, for some of you, it could be relationship. It might be something surrounding beliefs that you've had. It's also time, guys, to just declutter, like your, you know, in the physical form as well, like your homes, your rooms, whatever, declutter your life. But it's time to declutter like relationship dynamics is what I'm hearing. It's time to declutter the way you show up in relationship, okay? Basically like clearing out your fears, your shadows. But it's like, what do I even mean by that? It's like, I don't mean suppressing them. I don't mean hiding them. I don't mean it's a time for you to pretend that there's something about you that isn't you. It's about you having like compassion for it and being able to accept it and then release it, whether it's a dark thought or a dark feeling or certain things that you're trying to work through because you don't want to feel or think those things, even if you do. You understand what I'm saying? So we're talking about like shadow stuff. It's time for people to wake up. Okay, I'm hearing especially the ones who are like this sounds so bad, but especially the people, anyone who's like lingering or falling behind or hasn't been doing the work, the next 6 months is an opportunity for people to experience major breakthroughs and free themselves, not just spiritually from, spiritual contracts and soul contracts, but also from physical things like jobs that aren't serving you, um, contracts like in the physical world, right? Not in the soul plane. And it's a time to release yourself from basically shadow behaviors as well. Okay. Yes, you guys, it is, to me, it is that sexual behavior. So I feel like it's going to play itself out. It needs to play itself out, right? Think about the south node is in Scorpio, the north node is in Taurus. Yes, there's a big emphasis on the material world and the material gains, but there's also this other side of things that is going to be highlighted that has to do with our secrets, our shadows, our fantasies, like all these different things that people do in the dark. And trust me, you guys, people do crazy things in the dark, especially if you're someone who's like doesn't do stuff in the dark or never has had a lot of shadow. You'd be surprised, and like it's something that's real. But the thing is that some beings are meant to be in the shadow, and they're going to stay in the shadow. And there's some beings who are meant to like free themselves. And so I'm referring to those who are freeing themselves, whether that's you or someone else. This is going to be a time in the next 6 months to do that. And some people this is going to play out in different ways for some people. Like I said, it could be relationships coming back so that people can do it right this time around, because now they have the tools necessary to create this abundance, to create this happiness, okay, this integration, especially in twin flames. But for some people, it's going to be like they need to experience something one last time, experience the pain or the yuckiness or the whatever to like decide energetically, okay, I'm moving away from this once and for all, whether it is a job, whether it's a sexual pattern or behavior or an addiction to something, okay? So I love that. I mean, I claim it. But basically, you guys, with the river here, I'm hearing that the kingdom is coming down on earth, right? Or it's coming into earth. Like, okay, so it's like as above, so below is what's happening, right? The river to me represents heaven here. Okay, this is heaven. And the castle, okay, is green. There are pearls, there's roses on here, okay, crystals. So this is earth, and this is the higher realm, okay, the celestial plane or whatever you want to call it, okay, 5D as well, okay, 5D and beyond. But let's just call it like the higher levels of different dimensions, because different dimensions have darker energies as well. So, but this is also has some shadow in it, you guys. But see, that's the thing. It's like we can't run from the shadow, and we shouldn't be afraid of it. So what's happening is that this energy of the water element, the river, is flowing and flowing into earth. Okay, so a lot of you Starseeds, a lot of you Lightworkers and chosen ones, you're awakening, and you are going to experience riches and rewards. Okay, a lot of you a lot of people, you guys think that it has to happen through work, through exchange for your time and your labor and stuff like that, because that's the paradigm we've been in. Well, let's be honest here. How long have you been on this earth in this body? Okay, so let's say it's 25 years, 30 years, 50 years. That's all you know, right? That's what you know. That's what you think you know, because the history and the way part of the simulation that you were told, you just believe that, okay, this is what's taken place, right? And I'm not saying that there isn't history, and I'm not saying that, okay, that certain things don't exist. I'm just saying that our perceptions are very limited, because they're based on what's come before us or who's come before us, right? And so we're breaking out of that. And so what I was getting at is that when we have this limited perception that's based on an illusion, like for example, the monetary system, okay, the fiat system, right? It's not asset backed. It's not based on anything tangible. It's fake. It just was created out of thin air. And so that's an example of the illusion that we've all been part of. And so when we have adopted this mindset, and listen, you guys, I want to be sensitive, because I know that there are people out there who are struggling, okay, to make ends meet and all that stuff in the 3D world. But that's precisely what I'm referring to, is that the shift that we're going to experience is one that's so like out of this world and is so extraordinary, that the way that people are going to come into wealth, the way that people are going to become financially free and sovereign beings, okay, and conscious co-creators, is by leaving the matrix. But the thing is that a lot of you guys are asking like, oh, how is this going to happen, or when is it going to happen, or how could this be, or like, what are you talking about? But the thing is that a lot of it is like beyond a lot of people's like comprehension, just because we haven't been exposed to it and it's been kept from us. So imagine this, you guys, because this is about co-creating. I want you guys to just imagine like that there's a way for everyone to experience wealth and abundance, for everyone to have all their needs met, for everyone to be able to create their desires like that. But it comes from a place where we've all, okay, like this card was saying here, have, entered the age of Aquarius. So now we can actually trust in other people's desires, because we know that everyone's shadow is in check. And so what does that even mean, right? Well, the Ascension is precisely about those who are meant to awaken, freeing themselves from the lower reality into a higher one, and being able to experience the 5D Earth. And so everything changes, the rules change, right? Everything, the laws change, because now we're not operating off of the third dimension. So like, for example, one person can still be in the third dimensional experience, right? And we see that already here in the third dimension, where there's polarity, where some people are struggling and they're living in a very limited perception, and then others are able to manifest and create the lives that they've wanted. And not saying that happened overnight, but that's in itself is kind of an example of the contrast, right? But anyway, I don't want to get too much into the whole monetary stuff and stuff like that, because this is my tarot channel, and eventually I'll talk more about other stuff. But also I need to be like, I'm the type of person where I'm a writer. So when I write and then read what I wrote, it sounds a lot better, because when I'm just like speaking out of my mind, like from my mind, it can sound very fragmented, and a lot of times it sounds jumbled up, or I'm like whiplashing from like one topic to the next. And that's just my Gemini moon energy with Lilith as well as Mercury. So it's all very much linked for me. And so that's why I kind of brought up this Mercury energy, because with the retrograde that's happening, right? Like there's a lot of karmic stuff that's going to play out, especially if you have Gemini placements, or your third house is like crowded or something. Like you can experience like exes trying to come back. You can experience like a lot of people trying to tempt you. Okay. But it's because it's all what this is doing. Okay. Is preparing you, because there's a major shift coming for everyone. Okay, now when is the shift coming? It could be in 6 months, it could be next year, it can be in 3 months. I don't know. Okay, time is fluid, time is illusory. It feels like forever for many people, but let me tell you, like once it happens, it's gonna feel like, oh my God, right? It's gonna be instant. It's very like, once you're embodied in that, it's like the past will just seem like it's this like remote thing that's like far away from you, that you might not even just like be able to identify with anymore. Okay. And so I do feel like I'm having trouble explaining what I'm trying to like say. But basically, just also be careful, you guys. I'm going to do a different video. I'm going to actually do a tarot reading for the Mercury retrograde for every sign. That's going to come out in the next, few days. Because I noticed, like, I was channeling that between the North Node and the South Node in Scorpio and Taurus with the eclipse and the new moon and everything, that this is a very critical time, not just for the collective, but as an individual, right? To like free yourself from karma and align with your truth. So the same is true for these twin flames that are coming in together, okay? Lots of twin flames are coming in together because they're awakening, right, to the truth. And it's not even like, everyone, we could have awakened to a certain extent, and then, okay, we awaken more and more and more. And so like, that's what's happening here, okay? People are going to be faced to really look at themselves and reality, okay? And so that's what's happening. So back to this little message here. I really like it though, because like I said, this is heaven coming into earth. And so like I said, a lot of you are going to be super wealthy, super abundant, super rich, and doing really well. And and it's not based off of the monetary system that we have today. And so that's the part where a lot of people are going to be like, what is she talking about? But I'm not going to really get into that. Just know that there's a world out there that's already here, that's, fair and abundant for everyone. And that many of you are going to be the ones who are going to be carrying out this new world, carrying out this, heaven on earth, carrying out this, the divine plan, because that's what you've been chosen to do, right? And it's not just like, some people might be new leaders, in if there's even a government anymore, but some people might be new leaders. Some of you might be like leaders in a certain industry, healers, all these things that are going to start coming in. I mean, they're already talking about having these med beds in hospitals and turning hospitals into healing centers. And that's not on the news, obviously. It's on alternative news, but it's like, it's happening, you guys. Like, if you've been like fearful or just given up on the whole idea of heaven on earth and ascension, all these things like 5D earth, this reading is meant to like show, like help you guys like have faith and realign yourselves with that truth. But know that it's okay to experience these shadows first. It's okay to go through this one last time. Hopefully it's the last hurrah for many of you. But remember that things have to burn down, okay? Things have to crumble down. Like the world behind the mountain, the world that she once thought was reality is no more. And what's left is like ashes and dust, but this is all fertile land. It's something that we can all build upon. And you guys, I'm not saying that the world is going to crumble down. I'm not saying that the world has to burn down. This is a metaphor. That stuff, one could argue that that's already happened, right? So, but what's beautiful with this Eight of Pentacles is that I'm getting that there are going to be opportunities coming in for everyone financially. Like, I don't mean stimulus check. I don't mean no baby money, like petty little, money, chump change that can't even do anything for anyone. I mean real money, right? Because that money is based on a limited, third dimensional controlled system that's meant to limit all of us, right? Okay. This new system is meant to empower everyone and liberate everyone. Can't believe I'm even talking about this stuff, but eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a Telegram for everyone who's on part of the Divine Fam, who's interested in this type of stuff, because I'm connected to like a whole world, and maybe some of you are too, where this stuff is like real, okay? It's just a matter of tapping in and holding space and creating it together. But it's just iffy because like on YouTube, it's like, YouTube, girl, I mean, you guys. So, all I'm saying is that you can expect, okay, wait, let me ground my energy, you guys, because I'm going too out there. I'm going too far out into like, but I did say I wanted to channel in the highest timeline. So I don't know. I'll do the highest timeline. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just anchor in some energy for like the 3D, for like tomorrow. Okay. So what I was getting is that basically there's a new system that's coming in. This system, by the way, is something that was supposed to already happen for the collective here on Earth. It was supposed to be something that already took place, and the dark ones tried to block it, but they are not, they can't block it anymore. It's already happening. Okay, they've been removed from the planet, a lot of them. So what's left is basically remnants. Okay, and even though there are people who are like trying to hold on to your life to maintain these systems and keep them alive, let's just say that those puppets, okay, are just like not even in control anymore, because we've awakened to a certain point where now we have the power. So that's why it's so important that anyone who's awakened or considers themselves to be awakened to really do the spiritual work, not just for yourself, although that's where it starts, right? Always like doing your own manifestation work, but for the collective, because that's our power, right? We are source, we are co-creators, we're one with the divine. I don't even want to say God, just because I feel like God is like more of the ego, like the ego identity that we have with source, whereas like source is just like the oneness, okay, the consciousness that is behind it all. But because when you think about it, God, right, like God gets fragmented into different identities, whether it's like those who worship the devil, they think that's their God. Then there's people who worship Jesus and whatever, and they think that's their God. And that's great. I love Jesus. You know what I mean? But when we look at what's behind it all, is just this consciousness that creates both light and dark, you guys, which is what Mercury represents in its true form, is this duality, except that in the 3D, like I said earlier, Mercury is very unbalanced. It's that bipolar energy of like it's kind of like, you can think of Mercury in a way as like being like, I'm all love and light and I'm this and this, but then behind the scenes the person's like not all love and light, you know what I mean? But the higher form, the ascended form of Mercury is integration. And so that's what we're here to do. And so I love Mercury. I feel like I want to talk more about it in a different video. So yeah, so this new money system is coming in and it's going to liberate everyone. And this is something that was supposed to happen. It was blocked, but it's taking place now. Okay. And what I wanted to say was, as far as your 3D day to day, you guys, you can expect like new opportunities, money to come in, things to start going in your favor. If you have been wanting to create a business or start something that you like once wanted but couldn't carry out or finish, this is the time to do it. Okay, in the next 6 months. I would just be careful during retrograde that you're not starting something that's like completely new. But I see there being a lot of abundance here and prosperity, okay? And so with the King of Wands, this is really weird, but I'm getting that there's someone who's going to come into the main stage, okay, on the world stage. Yes, okay, part of the programming, but and the TV and stuff. But this is someone who's a leader, okay, that's going to bring truth to the world, okay? And I know it sounds like kind of counterintuitive to what I've been saying about like gurus and, you know, becoming your own light and leader and whatever. I mean, this is everyone becoming their own leader as well. But I just wanted, a message I was getting was that there will be people or someone's going to try to come and become like the leader of something, okay, of this new world, okay, of the heaven on earth. And not to say that that's not a good thing or is not going to be helpful or is what's needed to kind of herd the sheep along. But remember, my light workers and starseeds, that the power lies within us and not within a leader or something like that. Even though we can respect leaders when and how they're doing the right thing. So that's something to be mindful about. I'm hearing like in the next 6 months or 6 months from now, like like someone wants to come out and become a leader. Okay, I'm hearing like new leadership. Okay, so like new leader. Okay, like take that as you will. New leadership. Okay, new, if you know what I mean. I don't want to like say the words. So you guys, this is a very weird message. It's very different than from what I usually do on here. This is one of those readings where I'm sowing seeds and we're creating, you know, this higher timeline, which may not sound like it because I feel like I've kind of touched into different things, but it is, because it's about wholeness, integration, oneness, unity, consciousness, and that's what's coming in. So it's like, how can we align with that at this time as we're undergoing these changes that are bigger than us, let's put it like that are out of our control, is by doing our work and aligning with the truth that all is well. Okay. What do our star families want to communicate, or friendly beings from the stars that are supporting us at this time, please? Yeah, light body, crystal grid, transmission and activation. So this is beautiful. Like, this is talking to the fact that everyone, I feel like we're currently going through these light activations. Everyone's going to be pretty much aligning with their like highest math, right? So it's very important that we spend time, you know, under the stars, connecting with the stars, reminding ourselves of where we come from. Especially now that it's getting warmer, it's a great time to like lay out, you know, and do that. But it's because we're going to be receiving activations in the next 6 months. These are downloads, these are truths, these are awakenings. So it can happen as simple as you're outside under the night sky and you're just contemplating or meditating or relaxing, and then all of a sudden something makes sense about life or something makes sense about reality, right? That's how that would work. So make sure that you're spending lots of time this summer outside under the stars and taking in that beautiful energy, because there are a lot of transmissions that want to come through from, you know, whether it doesn't just have to be from like star systems, although they are from star systems. I'm hearing also from motherships, from extraterrestrial craft that's of the light. Okay, light ships as well. A lot of times you can see them in the sky. I know I see them quite a bit, and they're really small. And they look like shooting stars, but they move a lot slower. And This is just beautiful. I love this card here. It's there's something powerful here for you, okay? Especially if you're a light worker or consider yourself to be one. So souls, memories, and gifts. You've done this before. Yeah, this is not your first rodeo. Okay, you guys have been through this whole ascension process before. I'm hearing Atlantis. A lot of you were incarnate on Atlantis. You guys have memories. You guys have dreams. A lot of you tend to like remember these things. Some of you were mermaids or lived in a mermaid planet or world. I'm hearing Lemuria as well. Okay, shout out to all my Lemurian brothers and sisters, goddesses who are out there. Um, so this is like basically referring to the fact that this is what we're bringing back in is some form of this higher truth, of this more advanced civilization that's based on unity, love, peace, and abundance, right? For all. So tapping into your gifts, to your soul's memories, paying attention to your dreams is really important in the next 6 months as we go through this eclipse portal, because it's preparing you for what's coming in. And like I said earlier with the whole things crumbling down on the in the world stage and on the center stage, and you know, it's not this scary, it's not big and scary, it's like it needs to happen. And so when you can look at that from a higher vantage point and know that it's leading to this, to heaven on earth, it's leading to 5D earth and to ascension, you can hold space for that and allow the outside world that seems chaotic and fearful to just kind of like glide off of you and not even affect you, right? But in this case, like the river, right? It's wanting you to embody this water energy, which is also the feminine energy. And so part of us anchoring in the higher realms into the earthly experience is to be like the mother, okay? Like the cosmic mother, like the feminine part of source energy. So what does that mean? It means being compassionate with ourselves, practicing a lot of self-love, because especially during the Mercury retrograde, you guys, like I feel like the Mercury retrograde is a time where we can be tempted to revert back to old patterns, okay? Whether it's through drinking, smoking, okay, by the way, no judgment to anyone or anything like that. It's just, this is only for anyone who, if you've been suffering with that or you've struggled with that in the past and you overcame something like that, or let's say it was like a sexual addiction or an addiction to a relationship, okay, whatever it is, Mercury retrograde can sometimes bring it back up. Okay. So be kind with yourselves, be compassionate, and be conscious of what's happening astrologically so that you guys can move forward towards this, right? Which is the abundance that you deserve in your life, which by the way, I didn't mention this before, but it also comes from self-love, your value, and knowing your worth. Okay. And yes, even though I said earlier that a lot of us have been creating like these castles in the sky and dreaming, but also our homes are like our castles and our sanctuaries, and some people have felt unsafe in the world. Know that little by little the world is going to become a safe place. It's going to become a safe haven for all, and it's not going to, you're not going to feel, the world is going to feel like your home. It's not going to feel like you're in the world and then you run home to feel safe. It's like eventually we're going to be experiencing this, and it's happening sooner than we think, right? Because let's look at this card one more time. Okay, because I just got a different message. So the mountain, there's a big fire, everything's burned down, the world's been destroyed, right? But it's part of the illusion, because the truth lies in this little wormhole, you know, black hole portal energy, okay? Which we can look at that as the eclipse. And the truth lies in here, the crown, okay? Our crowns, our crown chakra, our soul star chakra, that is our truth. That's how we can connect to source, to God, to the divine, whatever it is. And that's our way out. So keep on working on your crown chakra. So why? Because as things keep becoming or appear to be like tumultuous in the outside, the inner world needs to stay aligned, because those of us who are truly awakened and chosen, or starseeds or lightworkers or whatever you identify as, right? We are like stabilizers. Okay. So the dark forces try to feed off of us and have us create for them, because they can't create for anyone. They can't create. We're creators. So they lean on us to create as humans, because we are creators, right? We were made in the image of the divine. Let's just put it like that. And so This is wanting you to be very, very aware of what you're taking in, what you're absorbing on TV. Okay. Know that, like I said before, that a lot of it, Pisces, is part of this illusion that's finally falling away. And when it is stripped away, when the truth comes out of what's been happening on the planet, not just in one area, okay, or something. I don't want to say certain things on the YouTube, but it's not just one area, it's so many things. It's the system, the entire setup of the matrix is gonna fall apart. And we're gonna be all left in this empty room where it's like, okay, now what, right? People are gonna be like feeling like, now what, where do we go from here? But that's the thing, is that we get to create the castles in the sky are finally gonna come in and anchor in and be created into the physical world, right? Our dreams, our fantasies. And know that anything that's not of the light is gonna be cleared out. So like a lot of people, might be wondering like, well, how does the new earth even work, or how are we going to be existing in this new earth, and if we have so many evil people or dark people on the planet? But like I said before, they're being taken care of, they're being handled accordingly by the light. Okay, whether it's benevolent beings, whether it's extraterrestrial beings, or human beings that are working with extraterrestrial beings. Okay, and slowly this is going to become, okay, we're going to have more disclosure, and we're going to be told that this has been taking place, okay, for quite some time, because the powers that were, which we may still look at the TV and think that they're still in control, but they're not, okay? Okay, you guys, let me keep going. Let's wrap it up, okay? And then I'm going to come back and we're going to do the weekly breakdown. I just wanted to do this, you guys, because I felt like I had, like, when you feel like something, you want to say something and something keeps telling you have to say it, you have to get the message out, even if it doesn't make sense, even if it sounds crazy. It's like one of those things where 6 months from now I'll look back on this, or other people might look back and be like, oh my God, like, Amen to that. I claim it because I'm ready, you guys. I'm personally, I've been holding space for this new world, for the new earth, for the rebuilding, okay, for everything to just fall apart. And I don't mean like destruction. I mean just when it comes to the matrix, when it comes to the illusions, the lies, the systems, the control, like, the fake money system, all these different things. Okay, I know it can be a touchy subject, but I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm here to like speak my truth and what I feel called to say, and know that there is the whole world in case you don't know, outside of the TV and the mainstream media, where there's thousands of us, okay, if not millions, that are awakening more and more, right, to the truth, okay, so, of certain things, because I don't want to sound like there's only one truth, but so prosperity lies ahead. Yeah, this is what I was picking up on. The Chariot over here, we're moving towards the age of abundance, the golden age of Aquarius, the prosperity that's coming in for everyone. Okay, happiness and joy. A fiery climax approaches. Interesting. So I'm hearing something about fires. A lot of I'm hearing it like fire. Okay, well, we've already seen that happening with what's been going on in Europe and Eurasia or whatever. Because I don't want to say the name. I just don't want the video to be like associated with anything. So I feel like we've already seen that. So I feel like the fiery climax has already approached, but I feel like the universe is saying like it's about to happen. Okay, we're about to hit that point where it's like, okay, bam, like now everything can really fall into place the way it needs to be, because we have been waiting for this time, for this prosperity for everyone, not just a few people, right? Especially those birth certificates. Oh my God. But anyway, so love and light. But yeah, it's kind of tough as well for me to speak about what I want to get out when I feel like I can't openly share everything. But it doesn't matter, because anyone who knows, and anyone who's following is following. And if you're not, that's okay. We're sowing seeds here. Okay. Just know that everything here is backed by divine white light and unconditional love, and anything that is not of divine white light and unconditional love is not welcome Yeah, the 10 of Cups. This is what we're moving towards. Abundance, wishes come true. People's lives shifting for the better and like, you know, but guys, let's also be mindful that this has to be part of your belief system, right? So I'll give you an example. Like for me, I personally don't care, and it's been years. And this sounds so bizarre, right? And I don't care how anyone takes it, but yo, Mercury retrograde. Oh my god, I'm done. So um what I was gonna say was, remember you have your own universe, okay, your own world that you can protect. So, and we are creators. So once you remember that, you're not going to allow someone else to create for you. Okay. So whenever something sounds negative or scary, like you don't have to adopt it, right? You don't have to. And so I guess what I was getting at was that this is part of what's so important here is that we remember that if we are letting these leaders or powers that be like tell us what's what and tell us what's reality and what isn't, that we're giving our power away. Okay. And so at that point, you're no longer the creator. If you need the TV to tell you, the programming to tell you what's what, you're not in creator mode. You're not in source, in unity, consciousness, and oneness, right? It's just what it is. Like even if you meditate and you practice all these things, like if you are allowing that to dictate your reality, you're not in higher consciousness, because that's just what it is. Right. And so basically, you guys, it's just an important time to really monitor your thoughts. And it can be a scary thought to think, oh my god, reality is not real. Like what I thought was real is not real, and everything I've been taught is kind of bullshit, and like what's real, but that's what this card is. I've already gone through this. So I feel like what this is saying is that a lot of people are going to be going through this, and I'm sure some of you have already gone through this, where you peel back all the layers and you're left with this blank canvas, blank slate, trying to understand what's what. And you know what, even those of us like myself who think that we've done this will probably keep going through this on more and more levels, because while we're still here in this experience, in this life, in this body, we're still growing and learning. And until we, right? Right. So just want to put that out there. But that's literally what's happening, is like people are going to be awakening more and more in the next 6 months, which is wonderful. People are always awakening, I know, but this is something about this portal is different. Okay. The show the world the real you is also what's coming out here. So it's a time to no longer hide in the shadows, right? Kind of like me. Like I spent years wanting to get on YouTube, wanting to speak and communicate with people and share my thoughts and my ideas. And I finally decided to do it, right? Okay, some time ago. And so this is wanting all the light workers out there, Starseeds, chosen, whatever, whoever, okay, to put yourselves out there, to not be afraid to express yourselves, okay, and show the world who you truly are, because that's where the power lies. And also with the full moon in Aquarius and the sun card here and the real you, this is also telling me that we're about to see the truth on certain matters surrounding the world. Okay, the light is going to shine and reveal what's been kept in the dark from people, even though it already has been revealed, and a lot of us know these things. A lot of people in the mainstream that only believe in mainstream or only look at mainstream, that's going to change, right? One day we're no longer going to have to not trust the mainstream. We're one day we won't have to like protect ourselves from the news, right? Because all of that whole world's going to be gone. That old world and the way we've known it is going to be gone. And okay, 10 of Cups. Yeah, let's remember that. Okay, so this was very jumbled a little bit. It was very spontaneous, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next reading.